How messed up is this that I can't even see my own matchup and it's almost Thursday?
I'll tell you how messed up it is. You weren't going to get your ass beat by me.
I know. I'm actually glad I'm not playing you because I saw your matchups and your running backs.
Yeah.
No thanks.
We're gonna leak dick heat all over the place this week.
I think you probably are.
All right, we're going to get this started by talking about the
Sorry. Go ahead.
biggest player that was a disappointment this season. You have anybody that jumps out at you?
I think you got to start off with one of the top drafted and was probably a receiver kept as a keeper there, and you probably have to start this conversation off with Allen Robinson.
Shots fired at Chris.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired! I have him on one of my teams too as well, so I can't hate on him too bad. But projected top 5 receiver, where's he at now? I don't know, maybe bottom 30.
He's actually projected 47.
He's sitting on everybody's benches is where he's sitting.
See old quintessential saying, look like Tarzan, play like Jane. So,
Or I'm going to go with Adrian Peterson.
well, I mean, injuries.
He got hurt.
So if we're talking injuries, then maybe Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
he's
say
the
Keenan
number one
Allen.
overall pick, I think, in our
So, a
draft.
lot of guys talking about that.
But I'm
Peterson.
actually
No, go ahead, Blake.
okay. Not to rag on Chris anymore, but how about Kelvin Benjamin as another?
Or Cam. I mean, you can go with these 3 keepers.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Jessica stole mine. I was going to go there. I was going to say Cam Newton. Dear God. No, speaking of Cam Newton, let's go with his counterpart, the guy who was traded for. How about Lamar Miller?
So, can we go back to Kelvin Benjamin real quick? Because
because he's going to go off this week, Ty. Stop.
No, listen to me. Because if he was still part of the Johnson County Zoo, I mean, if he was in this, we would have euthanized his ass already. So that's how disappointing he was. Nobody would even come see him at the exhibit because he'd be dead.
Not us. We respect gorillas at our exhibit.
Yeah, well, yeah, gorillas that score 0. So
Hey, 3.1.
oh, there you go.
3.1.
I can't find it, but
How's your team done so well with those 2 guys perform so poorly? But good coaching, I guess. Good management.
No, 2 words. David Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That dude, he literally wakes up on autopilot dick heat.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Is the entire offense. Like Carson
No,
can't throw a ball down the field anymore, so all he does is dump off to David Johnson all day.
I love it.
Carson. We'll get to Carson Palmer later.
I wish Fitzgerald would die.
okay, so while we're there, let's talk about the most overrated player.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'll just go ahead and throw a guy out on my team, Brandon Cooks. Freaking A, man. You guys pissing me off.
So I'm going to go with the big one this year that I would say is overrated. Let's go with the big dog, Aaron Rodgers. So talking about struggling all year. I mean, he's done good and bad, but not Mr. Consistent, not in the top points as he normally is with quarterbacks.
I agree with you there, but here I'm going to go with this one because Trent made another trade for another running back that hasn't done shit. And let's go with Todd Gurley. And Eddie Lacy still is overrated because he still has not paid Trent back for the first, third, and Mark Ingram that he traded last year.
Yeah. Yeah, Todd Gurley belongs on all the
Yeah, I was gonna go with Todd Gurley. Like big name, never puts up. How many touchdowns he scored? Like 3 all year.
Yeah.
But I guess that kind of goes back to their offense, though. What else do they have? I mean, you put 11 in the box and there's somebody to throw it. I don't think they can throw the ball more than 2 yards.
I mean, have they figured out where the sun sets yet?
I mean, he doesn't look as talented as he did last year either. So
Jared Goff's a moron.
So their coach is a moron. He thought that Danny Woodhead still played for the Patriots.
Yeah, I saw.
I think he's smart. Dude just signed an extension. Yelled out.
Makes the Rams dumb. It does not make him smart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, DeAndre Hopkins was overrated, but it's not his fault.
No, but
I think he bears some of the blame. I think he bears some of them because his quarterbacks were shitty last year, and he was awesome.
Yeah, Osweiler is a kind of shitty.
He's a new level of bad.
Well, I'm like, he had the people that are on this call right now. That's who he had throwing to him last year, and he was great.
Hey, speak for yourself, buddy. I'm wearing a jersey.
$68 million for Brock Osweiler or something like that. It's just
68? I think it was like 90, wasn't it?
Whatever.
Oh.
something like that. Way too much.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Typical Houston, though, right? So they
What's funny is I saw this deal
franchises, right, Blake?
I saw this deal on ESPN, the ESPN app actually, that the most common players that are on teams that made the playoffs. So, like, if you got David Johnson, 66% of the teams had David Johnson made the playoffs.
Believe
in
it?
ESPN. Yeah. And then it's like DeMarco Murray, Spencer Ware, Robert Kelly, Devontae Adams, Terrell Pryor, Matt Ryan, Jordan Howard, Shady McCoy, Ezekiel, Devontae Booker, Jimmy Graham, and Mike Evans. Let me tell you what all those guys have in common. None of them are on my team. None of those guys are on my team.
They're not on mine either. And I'm the 1 seed, so.
See, there you go. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes everything different. So, that's what makes everything different. But anyway.
Hey, speaking of underrated, have we started talking about underrated yet?
No.
Captain King?
No, go for it. Nice segue.
Okay, nice segue. Let's go with Matt Ryan. Can I just go there? Dear Jesus, TJ, congratulations.
So,
Yeah. I don't know.
another one in the quarterback queue that would be along with Matt Ryan would have to be Derek Carr this year. Kind of came out of I don't know if that many people were expecting him to be that good or put that kind of points up.
Dick Heat was.
I'm gonna throw out Melvin.
He was drafted 7th round. Mark that down.
Melvin Gordon was underrated, I think, going into the draft too.
No doubt about it.
Blake, his dreads got longer and it's scientifical. That's a real word, scientifical.
Not a word.
Is when you have long dreads, you are faster and you're physically stronger and you score more touchdowns.
He was terrible last year.
His dreads are longer this year. Scientifical. You can't argue that. You can't argue when there's not a word.
No, I mean, obviously dreads make people faster. That's true.
That's true. So does being black.
You're a pharmacist, Blake. You know that for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but I just want to say, like, Matt Ryan, though, go back to Matt. That doesn't do it for me. And he's like the girl at the very end of the night at the bar. That you're just like, okay, I'll go for her.
I can't figure out why.
You go home and you just find out she has a lot of money. That's what it is. She's not that cute.
Yeah, exactly.
So it works out.
To me, that's what Matt Ryan. I mean, it's like, oh God, I guess I'll go for it. So, last call.
How I feel about Carson Palmer. So.
Oh well. Yeah.
Can I get on Carson Palmer for a minute? Oh my God, that guy has hit a cliff, and he has a noodle arm now. He can't throw the ball down the field at all. He reminds me of Peyton Manning from last year.
Yeah.
Hit the nail.
On a tangent, like so 30 years from now, you think that people are going to be like, oh, Peyton Manning went out on top, even though he was the worst freaking quarterback in the NFL. Like, people are just going to sweep it under the rug that Brock Osweiler could have won the Super Bowl last year with that team, that defense.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like, oh, great Peyton Manning.
He won a Super Bowl for throwing for 100 yards passing
and like two interceptions. Yeah.
It was like when y'all won district and Tristan Toma could have played third, right?
He did. It's
Did
because
you back your own self up? You did. I can hear you.
I don't even know what that means.
I've been waiting to do.
I don't even know what that means.
he was toolsy, but I had to be
Toolsy?
toolsy.
Did we already have scientifical and toolsy?
He had the arm and the power. I had the doubles.
Wow. Give me a superpower. I want doubles, not home runs, not throw really, really hard. I want doubles.
So out of the playoff
Doubles.
teams here, while we're talking about quarterbacks, who has the best quarterback going into the playoffs?
Matt Stafford.
Homer pick.
Combined me.
Oh man,
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go with the matchups here. I know I already brought up his name, but I think just from a point stance, I think he has a good chance to go off this week would be Derek Carr. He's playing the 36th ranked team in the best team in the league. You got Derek Carr. They've been on fire. You got Amari Cooper and Crab on each side that he's just lighting up with. And so that's where I would go this week.
Oh, I pulled this up earlier. Drew Brees, that little son of a bitch, he's going to die throwing touchdowns. I think he plays Tampa Bay twice in the last 3 weeks.
Tampa Bay is not that bad on defense, especially.
Oh, they're not that.
No.
And they're on the
He
road
definitely
twice.
shit the bed last week and threw for what? He had like 5 interceptions and 1 touchdown. So Drew Brees is due to turn it around and go away.
I agree, but I'm actually on the schedule, and when I'm on the schedule in the playoffs, someone does something stupid, like go for 90 points. Ty King, how many times have you beat me in the first round of the playoffs?
All of the times.
No, I have to agree. He's on the road twice the next 2 weeks. He's gonna bust. So
You
I
don't
have
want to play Tom Brady either in the playoff. I'm like, when it gets to this time of year,
no what's
yeah. So
By the way, Phillip Rivers, come on
Yeah.
now. If Enlow wins this week, he's got
he's consistent as a get, man. I mean, it's just like you could just pencil him in for like 19 points.
bolo tie. He wears a bolo tie.
You've got the running backs, so that gives him consistency.
Bolo tie.
And they play Carolina this week, so it won't be too hard for
Yeah,
him.
they're terrible because Luke Kuechly is mashed potatoes.
Christopher.
That's
I think
rude.
That's wrong.
Sorry,
No,
I knocked on wood at the same time.
Okay, we just did quarterback. Let's talk about best running back going into the playoff matchups.
Well, let's throw David Johnson out right now because he's number 1. Like
Yep.
we've already sucked him off a few times tonight.
Well, that's
so.
not fair because I'm narcissistic and I want to hear about him.
So
Nick,
there's three running backs that are like just absolute stone nuts. Like, I mean, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, and Zeke. But so, I mean, and Zeke's not in the playoffs, right? So
no.
if you have one of those two, then you have to feel pretty good going in.
Hey, speaking of, not even to go off topic a little bit, but like, how does Lil Dis score the 3rd most points in the league and not make it? That's bad luck.
Shit happens.
Bad book.
But I have
He whipped my ass this week. That's what he should have done all week.
wrote down something.
Sorry.
I don't know if y'all can see that. It says Dishmans in fantasy football. That's
Oh
why.
my gosh.
It's true.
Well, hey,
So I think matchup-wise, I think Jessica's got a good round this week and a good
Gosh dang, she does.
Both running backs are facing bottom 30 place teams in rushing. So I think you got to watch out for Jess and her team taking off and running a little wild this weekend.
Let's hope.
Clay, are you in an office? What? Clay, what the hell's going on with you right now?
What am I?
Yeah, are you in your office? Like you just lounging? What are you happening with you?
Just sitting back lounging, man. I got my cool rays on, hanging out.
And how do you know more about this league than anybody on the chat?
Well,
On here.
that's
All
what-
y'all feed all y'all secrets to me, so I know the secrets of everybody. So I talk to all y'all individually. Y'all tell me the secrets.
I just wondered. Okay.
All right. Well, looking back
That's
on
my bedroom.
the season, who made the worst trade?
Well, it's Trent every year.
What happened? Like, what went down at the end of the year was bananas.
I don't
So,
know. I don't
No,
know.
no. The worst trade was TJ. He traded
Oh God, Jamar Charles.
he traded Jay Ajayi and a first and a third, I believe, for Jamal Charles. And this was after Ajayi just ran for 200 yards. This was when all the injury reports said Charles has swollen knees. So I don't know. I mean, I give TJ the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe his love for Jamal Charles just blinded him with the fact that Charles can't play football anymore. But that was the worst trade.
Jay might have recouped just a little bit on one trade that I'm aware of. And granted, I'm not privy to all the trades, but I think one that stood out that was, maybe bad for one person at the beginning of the year. Traded away a third-round draft pick, and he was keeping what he thought was going to be the number one receiver of the year, and he wound up stealing the number one receiver in the league this year for a third-round draft pick.
Yeah, that was pre-draft. That always happens pre-draft. If somebody grabs some good players pre-draft.
So
I want to go back. I want to go back to TJ's trade because what pisses me off the most about that is I tried to trade for Spencer Ware and Enlow. I'll never forget him on the phone. He was like, "I just want you to know that Spencer Ware's backup is now worth a first and a third." That's the worst trade ever. As in this year.
I mean, TJ is I think TJ is a great fantasy football player, but that was a terrible trade for sure.
TJ, I like you. It was a terrible trade. Because I wanted Spencer Ware really bad, and I offered a good fifth rounder for him.
All right, what's the best trade?
Best trade. What? I guess Zach Dishman taking Jay. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, shit. I don't remember. We make too many Brian Moore's in our league. I don't know what the best trade is. I don't know what he did. I'm going to guess the best trade is one that involved Brian trading 2019 draft picks.
Yeah, did that happen? Like, did something like that? I mean,
yeah. No, so there's like a conditional pick on my trade with Trent. Like,
Is there really?
yeah, like if Adrian Peterson retires before he takes a snap next year, then he gets another first-round pick from me. So that Aaron Rodgers and all those other players that I got could.
You could possibly lose that bet about the end of the season.
I don't think so. I mean, it is. I did do stuff, but I'm gonna be pissed if he retires. I'm gonna be pissed.
We're trading like we pay these people.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I got rid of him. Thanks.
Look, I charge ticket.
I just feel like AP is too competitive. He's not gonna retire yet. He's not.
I must have missed that. We literally traded a conditional pick in our league.
Yeah.
We have no control over any of that.
No.
Our
Our fantasy football.
How does the negotiation
got to a new level?
Like, how does it even go that far? Like, I've never even taken it to that level. I mean,
Chris just tries to trade for $20.
We can't even decide if a rule goes in place next year, and you're gonna have a conditional fucking pick.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We're on second level.
Oh man! All right, best waiver wire pickup.
I'd say the best waiver wire pickup probably has to go to Blake. Just watching that injury and timing it right for a tight end there right at the end of the season to give him a good push with Mr. Eifert.
You're welcome, Blake, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was nice.
Chris didn't wait around. He dropped him, and Blake was right there to swip him up, and he's been a solid push there for the last part of the season.
Ty,
If I
King,
could just
you
real
were,
quick,
Ty, you were at the table with me, and I said I will not drop him.
I just want to toot my own horn. Matthew Stafford was a pickup for me.
Oh, was
Yeah.
he? Uh-oh.
Yep.
For the, I got one, and this is some C-Mill love. He just picked up Malcolm Mitchell from the Patriots.
Yeah, he did.
The fact that his wide receivers are poor and Gronk is out, Malcolm Mitchell is a great pickup. He could possibly put him over.
I don't agree.
Didn't work out last week though, right?
I mean, he only had 8 catches for 82 yards.
Tom Brady's throwing the ball. I think he's growing into a big part of the offense. I think that's a great.
Hey, with Gronk out, they throw the ball on average 36 times a game. With him in the game, they throw it 42 times him out. I'm just saying.
I don't know what you just said.
I made all the stats up too. So
I mean, but 8 points at receiver doesn't cut it. But what receiver has been?
hey, 8 points at receivers cut it all year.
Yeah, there's no.
Obviously, you're not in first place, so I'm just saying.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Oh
I
fuck!
haven't
You
had
know
good
what? The only reason I'm not in
had 8
first.
points.
The only
Yes.
reason I'm not in first place is because Derrick Henry hurt his calf in pregame warmups.
Derrick
Let's-
Henry's been on
let's-
the bench all year, fool.
Oh,
Derrick Henry is a backup.
no, let's talk about Derrick Henry. Let's go back to that.
Yeah,
I start him 1 week, and I tell everyone in the league I'm going to lose because of Derrick Henry, and this dumbass pulls his calf muscle in pregame warmups. They don't even report it. I lose by
why did
1
you start him in
point
the first place?
because he
He
scored
had
like
to.
6. I had to. I was on bye week.
He had a lot of buys.
I lost by 1.8 points to Enlow, and I could have started anybody in that position and won.
I'm not sympathetic.
I'm not sympathetic either.
Oh, it was funny. It was really funny. But who has been a power receiver? Like, I'm really trying to think. I mean, not even Dez really hasn't.
I mean,
Mike Evans, and he plays he plays New Orleans twice in the next 3 weeks.
Yes, he does. You're not going to give Antonio Brown any love there?
Oh, because he
goes
has
Yeah.
on stage. He goes
Yeah,
on stage.
he has.
Mike Evans.
Ladarius Green hurts him, Blake. I'm not gonna lie, he does.
No, he helps him because it's an extra receiver.
No, he hurts him.
Punch him in the arm in the locker room. Is that how he hurts him?
I just want to argue with you.
I'd throw out another one of Amari Cooper, who's been pretty solid for the most part, even playing through injuries.
Dang right, he has been.
Been
He's been
scoring
real good.
points.
So is Crabtree. So I mean, all year.
I hope they all catch touchdowns.
There hasn't been a lot of consistent receivers for sure. I can't even name that many. So
I feel like their running backs have been more, and I mean, scoring wise.
Well, you know what's funny? If you look at like the fantasy football like websites and online, they talked about going fantasy football wide receiver heavy this year, and it's been the most inconsistent position out there.
I mean,
I know, but yeah, but it has been. But
I like Ty. By the way, going in the playoffs.
thank you.
Yeah, he's got fire recently.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the
Andrew Luck. I wish I had him going into the playoffs.
yeah, the artist formerly known as Andrew Luck is throwing to
So
him.
basically, everybody that's on Matt Dishman's team, everyone wants right now, like Rawls.
God,
Yep.
God dang, dude, how good is his team right now?
Meek.
Holy shit, it's so good. Like
And he just traded AJ Green and Jordan Reed.
I can't believe I actually hung within 20 points of him. I was like, oh my God, it's so good.
Talent wise, he has the best. He had the best team for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Can I throw a question in here? And it's on the group chat, or not group chat, but the one we were all talking about. Best R&B duo right now. Song. Best R&B duo song of all time. Go.
So right now or all time?
All time.
I pick.
Oh yeah. Always on time by Ja Rule and Ashanti.
Say
Next.
anything from Boys to Men.
They were 4 people, not a duo.
Oh, duo. I did not hear that part.
Oh. So,
Okay.
Chris
Duo.
All right. Well, let's hear the picks. Let's hear for who's advancing past the first round.
By the way, the best duo is Boyz II Men, Mariah Carey.
that's not a duo. It's 4 guys and 1 girl.
Oh,
Like,
Hey, we got 10 minutes.
duo
boys.
means 2.
10 minutes. Sorry, I don't pay for this.
Yeah, this is free. We're cheap.
All right, so we're doing picks, right?
Yep.
So can you throw up the
I'll
matchup?
see your Boys to Men.
Do you
and
see
then
him?
I'll tell you that Celsius
No,
is
but-
better than them.
Oh, I thought you could pull up the actual.
So
Well,
yeah,
they're
first
different.
game is what? Tell us what the first game we want to pick is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give us the first game.
Is it
Let's go, me and Jeremy.
that's
Okay.
not the
no, we got to go off the sheet that you had pulled up,
off
Jess.
the other sheet.
Yeah.
It is you and Jeremy. Yeah. Jessica and Jeremy. 1 versus 8.
ESPN has us even.
I'm going with Jeremy on this. I think that he has better matchups. I like Rivers against Carolina. I like the fact that he has 3 solid running backs. The only thing that I think may put you over the top is Le'Veon Bell. I don't trust Carson Palmer. That's what I think.
He's getting his groove back, though.
Yeah, he is. And I'll tell you right now, LeGarrette Blunt is dirty. So
Yeah, he is. He is.
LeGarrette
Thanks
Blunt
for that,
in our
Blake.
league is-
He's playing Baltimore, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is going against the number 1 defense in the league, but I think that's Enlow's only bad matchup. I think everybody else is like bottom 20 matchup for him. So I think that could definitely be a potential upset there with Enlow over Jessica.
And I just played Enlow last week, and he put it in my butt. So
Yeah, he did.
I think that in order for Enlow to upset Jessica, though, he's gonna have to get a touchdown out of old Kenny Brett or the tight end from Houston. I think he's gonna have to have a little surprise there, not just the 6 points that they pull along there. I think he's gonna have to have a little bit of help on the bottom end.
I agree.
Yeah, and I got to have a TD from Olsen, though, too, for something to happen.
It's like Mr. Consistent. You were talking about consistent wide receivers. He's like the most consistent tight end of all times, right?
Yeah, but Cam hasn't been on.
Cam may be coming out this year.
Come on.
All right, Matt Hodges, Ty
As a
King.
gay.
Well, wait a minute. I haven't told you who I'm picking.
Oh, sorry.
That
Yes.
game,
Or
just tell you
me.
real quick, I'll just tell you right now. The number 1 seed will advance. Jessica will win.
Thank
So
you.
she'll find a way. She'll find
Thank
a way. So
Thank you.
that's my pick.
Chris, I don't care what you.
I don't want a divorce, so Jessica's gonna win. Jeremy, sorry, bud.
All right, we've got the Zoo versus Hodges.
What?
Who's going first?
Just so you know, we played in week 1 and I won by 70.
I'm picking the Zoo. I just think
Hey.
that
Time out. Jessica, can you pause it?
Yeah,
Pause the recording.
yeah, hold on. I don't know how to get back. Yeah, go.
I think we can do it.
Okay, let me share.
oh,
I'm seeing Blake's big ass face on my screen. That's what I know.
I lost my train of thought. What was I doing? I'm picking the Zoo to beat who?
Yeah. It's going to be a tough
Hodges. Matt.
Yeah, so Matt Hodges, I mean, he's got Odell Beckham and Tom Brady, and that's pretty much the only 2 guys I really think he has on his team that I like. The Zoo has a lot of solid players up and down, so he's just got a better roster all around. So I'm going to pick him.
I'm going to go with Ty
Go
King.
with the Zoo.
So I think that the Vikings defense is going to get back in form this week, and they're going to go off 2 points for Ty King, and I think that's what pushes them over the edge.
Ty,
Wait, those projections are close too. You've got Matt Hodges projected at 94, and you've got the Zoo projected at 93. So
Well, you know what?
I'm going off
Bar
of one
reference
thing.
Again, if I projected all the girls I was going to take home when I walked in the bar, then I'd be married with a bunch of kids right now. A bunch of different women. So,
I'm actually going to go with Ty and I'm going to go with it one reason and one reason only. DeMarco Murray plays Denver this week.
boom, son. All right.
all
That's
right,
it.
Blake versus TJ.
Oh, geez. I'll just say right now, I got to go with TJ because his team is just flat out scary.
Both projected dead even, 100 to 100.
Yeah, but it can go either way. But his team is just, it's going to be close. But I'm just going to say TJ, really, because I honestly I have no further analysis.
Because you like it.
I think that Blake's running backs are going to struggle this week. I think Robert Kelly and Washington are going to get pass happy and throw the ball around a lot. So I think that his carries may be limited. And I mean, both Jonathan Stewart and Robert Kelly have only had 2 weeks of over 10 points. So I think that's where the downfall is for Blake's team. And even though TJ's got a tough matchup, I think that it'll be very tight, but I think he pulls ahead.
I'm going to go off of two things. If Blake gets a big game out of Tyler Eifert and Michael Thomas this week, he wins. Otherwise, TJ's got it based on matchups alone. You have to have a big matchup from Tyler Eifert and Michael Thomas.
I think Blake's going to win because he shouldn't even be in the playoffs.
That is a trend.
You should have
You are,
quit a
and
long
I
time
think
ago.
You're going to go and you're going to advance in the second round, and we all thought you were done for.
I mean, it was an uphill climb for sure to get in. I'm excited to be here, but
I want you to know that you've actually created 3 rules that I'm bringing up next year.
Wait, we don't have time to talk about that.
Oh, well,
76
if Mike Evans goes off, then I'm done. Mike Evans against New Orleans, that's what I'm worried about.
Agreed.
All right, and then our final matchup is Ty P versus Dick Heat.
God dang, Dick Heat.
Hot Dr. Pepper, baby! Yeah! What I'm going with.
That's a penis, not my hand.
Oh my God.
That's a
Dr.
disturbing
Pepper.
opinion.
So
I think Chris wins. I think Ty's team is losing some steam. I mean, after Gronk and Lamar Miller didn't do too hot last week, I don't know.
well,
I'm
now
scared
you
as
got
shit.
Julio Jones, who's hurt his foot, was out for part of the game last week. Don't know the full status on that, but you got Julio Jones there, and I mean, CML does have a favorable matchup with the quarterback, and if he can just find a way to get his shitty receivers to catch a couple balls, I think he's gonna play with it.
True story.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with old Dick Heat over there too, because like Clay said, Julio's banged up a little bit. Breeze on the road, and then you have Forte against I think the Browns, and then you have David Johnson. Like I just
Jeremy Hill against the Browns, but
oh,
you're good.
okay, sorry, Forte against the 49ers. Is that
Yeah.
right?
About
The
this.
other worst rushing
Yeah.
defense.
So I mean, like it's the stars have aligned for you for this week. I think you might win by 20.
Thanks, buddy.
All
I
right.
appreciate that.
We got a minute and a half left. Any closing arguments?
Yes, I'll tell you right now, I'm wearing my red T-shirt, but you'll notice there's a blue one underneath. The only blue one I have right now. It says, can y'all see the video?
Yep.
Yeah, it says I turn grills on. So that's my blue shirt. That's my blue shirt right now. I'm going for the blue shirts, baby.
I
This
just
year.
what he says about blue shirts. I want you to know something, Brian. Next year, if I win this, I'm going to the vintage store and we're going to get blue jackets like the Masters, and I'm going to get it put on our backs because once 2 people join the club, we need to be sophisticated.
No, I don't agree with that.
You get a blue jacket, son.
I'm not wearing
Blue
a
jacket. Blue jacket. You're going to
Hey,
have to learn to wear a blue
who's in the running that's never won before? TJ, Matt
Jeremy
Hodges?
number 1,
Hodges and Matt.
Hodges, only 2 people.
Jeremy, Matt Hodges.
So did you guys realize that our championship falls on Christmas Day? So like, what better Christmas gift is it than a
Is get a Dick Heat meme on fucking Christmas? Yeah.
like a Super Bowl championship? I mean,
All right, guys, we're done.
it's the season. All right.
About
We're
the
done.
best attitude trophy this year too.
Hold
That's my
on,
cell phone.
you don't have to. I'm just gonna stop recording.